Good morning, everyone. My name is Rick Morera, and that is Swiffer. She is my cat. I rescued her. She lived across the street. She was kind of homeless, so we took her in about 3 years ago, and she is just been by my side constantly. She likes to be where I am, and she follows me around. And this is my backyard. Today I'm just going to give you a little tour, show you a few things, and then highlight a couple of the Hoyas that I picked out, especially Hoya Sulawesiana. And yeah, my blog is about my garden basically, and Hoyas, orchids, and philodendrons, and gardening in Florida in general. So please stick around. So yeah, the temperatures are dropping. We're gonna get our first 60-degree nights in about a week because it's been over 70 degrees, I think, for the last 6 months at least. So I just wanted to show you around and see what's going on. Every time I do one of these videos, I actually find stuff that I hadn't seen before, and I just spotted a bud here. Let's see if I can focus in. This is Hoya elliptica. It's getting a little sun. It's getting too much sun, so the buds kind of get a little dark. So yeah, plenty of stuff still going on in the yard. I'm still getting blooms. This is a Hoya called Lime Sherbet, and it has, people like it because it has a lot of darkness around the edge of the leaf, and the flowers are kind of lime green almost, so it's cute. And Hoya cutis porcellana. This has got to be one of the easiest Hoyas ever. It blooms constantly. It basically blooms almost 9 months out of the year in the same peduncle, so this is actually a very cute flowering plant, and it's, like I said, really easy. And this is my Sabah Borneo EPC 961, and it does, I don't know if it enjoys this much sun that it's getting, but it gets pretty sun stressed leaves. And the back of the leaf for this species has a nice dark midrib. And back here in the garden, you can tell fall is coming because the growth of these plants is not as fast as it was in the height of summer with the high humidities. But everything is still pretty lush and green. It hasn't been raining, so I've had the sprinklers out a few times a week. But the philodendrons aren't growing as fast. And yeah, plants are just beginning to slow down for the cooler weather here in Florida, but everything stays pretty much outside. I don't take anything inside usually, except for some really thin, expensive Hoyas. Then I usually put them in the greenhouse. Other than that, yeah, everything kind of stays out here. We've had one really bad winter in 2010 where we had a freeze, but after that, the winters have been kind of mild. So let me show you the Hoyas that I've selected. And this over here is one of my hybrids of Hoya valmayoriana crossed with estrellaensis. These flowers are a few days old, so they're beginning to close back up. but I wanted to show you guys the really interesting color. The valmayoriana is very orange, and the flowers of estrellaensis are pretty yellow, so you have a nice little combination. I really enjoy this color scheme. This plant is about 2 years old. I call it RHM 15, but I am considering naming it soon, so I'll show you the foliage. So yeah, the foliage is somewhat similar. If you would imagine a cross between these two, that's what you would get. So nothing really spectacular about them, but they're pretty succulent, and it's a very prolific Hoya. It's bloomed for me 5 or 6 times in the same umbel this late summer to now. So. And this is Hoya Sulawesiana in bloom. It's been blooming for 4 days now. As you can see, the flowers are quite exquisite and very fuzzy. And it's a very gorgeous cranberry color. And so the flowers look a little more interesting when they first open, but they still look very lovely. And this plant here of Hoya Sulawesiana came from Thailand about 1.5 years ago, and I took a node and I planted it in that 4-inch pot, and I placed it in the greenhouse where it was getting, you know, pretty much 90% humidity and 80 to 90 degrees all summer long. There's ventilation in there, and I did allow it to go dry quite a bit, so there would be weeks that I would forget to water it, and I kind of just ignored it, and it did really well, putting out a lot of this new growth pretty much from March until now. Some of the leaves get quite large. As you can see, this leaf is, I haven't measured it, but it looks like it could be 9 inches long, and it is a very succulent Hoya. Some of these leaves feel really thick, and you can't bend them, or else you break them. I did fertilize it a couple of times with what did I use? Let's see, the MSU fertilizer, and I also used some chicken droppings that I had aged. So I don't know if what made it happy, but as you can see, it did grow a lot. A lot of people have told me that theirs doesn't grow as fast. So I'll add some pictures of the blooms when they first open. But it's quite the gorgeous Hoya, and it's really, once it gets going, it's really forgiving. Now this plant is originally from West Sulawesi, and it grew at they found it at a low elevation. It has white sap, and as you can see, it's a pretty succulent epiphyte. So it was growing on trees in low elevations in Sulawesi. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Hoyas right now. I always liked it, and I had seen blooms online, but you really need to see these in person to appreciate the, let's see if I can focus on here, the intricate coronas of this species. And I really do love the cranberry dark corollas that it has also. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to pick one of these up, definitely do so. I think it'll be a very rewarding species to grow, and just it's a very interesting foliage plant, and when it blooms, you're in it for a show. So definitely consider adding this one to your collection. And here I have one of the Hoya penduratas. I believe this one goes by Pendurata Vietnam. And when I got it, it was really nice. It has a lot of splash, and the leaves are pretty green. So I don't know what, maybe it's too hot here, or it needs a little more fertilizer or minerals, but the new growth isn't looking as attractive as the older growth. So I'm thinking maybe these leaves need to mature a little more, or I need to transplant it into some other mix. It's growing in palm right now, and I did fertilize it a couple times, but it is growing. But if anyone knows what I could do to it to make it more like this, please leave a note in the comments. I'd appreciate it. So this is Hoya pendurata Vietnam. And this is a Hoya mappigera, and you can see it's really pretty and has a lot of splash. And this leaf is actually thicker than the previous one I owned and killed. I'm getting better at growing these thin leaf Hoyas. I just realized that they kind of like to keep more consistently moist. So growing in palm or leca, or I have this as my soilless rooting mix, and it did really well rooting in here. And in a couple weeks I'll probably move it up to another. I haven't decided what I'm going to put it in. Maybe leca will be easier to get it to bloom. But I acquired this from a friend up in Michigan in a surprise cutting box she was selling, and I'm really happy with it. It's putting out a nice new growth, and yeah, I can't wait to bloom it. The flowers are quite big, and some people describe them as like a folded napkin. So I will keep you guys updated on this one. Yeah, this is a Hoya from Malaysia and probably South Thailand. So definitely a collector's Hoya that's a little more challenging. And if you're wondering what is this piece of furniture I have on the deck, it's actually a fold up bar. As you can see, it folds up nicely, and it has its own carrying case, and it came with these two covers, and it has a shelf, and it's really easy to set up and fold up, and you can bring it to like a tailgate party, friend's pool party, or just have it in your backyard. I don't think it could take, this is like pressed wood, so I don't think it could take a lot of rain, but it's really nice to just be able to fold it up and put it away when you're not needing it. And like I said, it's easily portable. I'll probably use it when I do a plant sale somewhere, and it'll be my checkout table. So yeah, this is kind of nice, and I think I got it, not sure how much, but I think it was around $75 on Amazon. This philodendron I got from Equigenera about a year ago. It came with about 2 leaves, and I planted it into this pot about 2 months ago, and it really started putting out a lot of new growth. It really likes that moss pole. The ID of it's called Philodendron squamicale type. So I'm not sure what that means. If anyone knows any more information, please leave a comment below. And I'm not sure if you can see, but the petioles and the stems on this philodendron are very fuzzy. Even part of the leaf there is very fuzzy. In the sheath, and you see this is the stem and the petiole, so it's really a very, very attractive plant. And I think as it matures, you get a lot more fuzziness to this plant. So yeah, this is Philodendron squamicale type. That's how I got it, but I'm not sure what type means. Is it a hybrid with something else, or I'm not sure. So if anyone knows, I would really appreciate it. It's really a gorgeous, the leaf is really textured and very shiny, and it just has a nice growth pattern to it. So yeah, let me know. Thank you. And that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and taking this walk in my backyard this morning. And I hope you like and subscribe and come back every Sunday when I upload a new video. And I wish you all a wonderful week. Take care.